Leopard seal. And before you picture something cute on an ice floe, picture the apex predator of Antarctica. This animal hunts penguins the way a cat plays with a mouse. It waits below the ice edge, explodes upward at full speed, grabs the penguin midair, and shakes it violently until the skin separates from the body. Scientists call it the most efficient predator in the Southern Ocean. That's not the scary part. It has the widest jaw gape of any seal, wide enough to bite through a diving suit. In 2003, marine biologist Kirsty Brown was dragged underwater by a leopard seal during a research dive near Antarctica. She didn't come back up. First recorded fatal attack on a human by a leopard seal in history. And here's what nobody tells you. The same animal that killed a researcher has been documented bringing dead penguins to photographers, offering them food repeatedly over multiple days. It hunts like a predator, then tries to feed you like a pet. Walrus. Those tusks are not weapons. That's the first thing everyone gets wrong. A walrus uses its tusks to haul itself out of freezing water onto ice, pulling its entire body weight, sometimes over 1.5 tons, using only those two ivory hooks. They're climbing tools, which makes them no less terrifying, but for completely different reasons than you assumed. Let that sit for a second. It inflates pouches in its throat like a built-in life jacket, allowing it to sleep vertically in open ocean water for hours without sinking, while fully asleep in the middle of the sea. And when a walrus feels threatened, those tusks become weapons fast. Polar bears, animals that casually hunt beluga whales, actively avoid adult walruses. A full-grown male is simply too dangerous to risk. In the 1800s, commercial hunting reduced Pacific walrus populations to near extinction. Today, there are roughly 200,000 left. Recovery took over a century. Elephant seal, the largest seal on Earth, and it spends most of its life doing something that should be physically impossible. A fully grown male reaches 2.3 tons, heavier than most cars, and it disappears into the open ocean for up to 8 months at a time, diving to depths of 1.5 kilometers, holding its breath for up to 2 hours per dive, which honestly makes no sense. To survive those depths, its body does something extraordinary. The spleen, which stores oxygenated blood, contracts and releases during the dive like a biological oxygen tank, extending how long it can stay under. Its heart rate drops from 120 beats per minute to 4 beats per minute. And when it needs to rest mid-ocean, it doesn't surface. It spirals slowly downward in a controlled sleep dive, dropping through the water column unconscious, then wakes up before hitting dangerous depth and starts over. It sleeps while sinking in the open ocean, alone. Scientists tracked one individual that covered 21,000 kilometers in a single migration, roughly half the circumference of the Earth. The biggest seal alive barely touches land. The ocean is its entire world. Sea lion. It's the only seal that can actually walk on land, not shuffle, not drag itself, walk, rotating its rear flippers forward and using all 4 limbs in coordinated movement. Every other seal species moves on land by flopping on its belly. The sea lion stands up and walks. That one structural difference makes it the most terrestrially capable marine mammal outside of otters, which is exactly why the U.S. Navy recruited it. The Navy Marine Mammal Program has trained California sea lions since the 1960s for underwater mine detection and enemy diver identification. Their vision in low light underwater exceeds any camera system the Navy has built for the same conditions. They can track a target in total darkness using directional hearing alone. They receive operational deployments, not experiments, deployments. And here's the part that changes how you see them. Sea lions have demonstrated self-awareness in mirror tests, a cognitive ability shared with dolphins, great apes, and elephants. Fur seal. In 1911, the entire population of northern fur seals had been hunted down to fewer than 200,000 animals. By the 1980s, there were over 1.3 million. That recovery is one of the most documented cases of a species pulling itself back from the edge. But that's not what makes this animal interesting. Its coat has two layers: a dense underfur so tightly packed that water never reaches the skin, and longer guard hairs on top. The combination works like a wetsuit built into its body. It can stay in near freezing water indefinitely without losing core body temperature. That's not the surprising part. Female fur seals leave their pups on shore for weeks at a time to hunt in open ocean, and sometimes traveling over 400 kilometers from the colony. When they return, out of hundreds of thousands of pups on the same beach, they locate their own pup within minutes, by voice and by smell alone. Hundreds of thousands of animals making identical sounds, and she finds hers. Scientists have studied this recognition ability for decades and still don't fully understand the precision involved. Weddell seal. It lives permanently under Antarctic ice. And to stay alive, it does something no other mammal on Earth does. It drills its own breathing holes through ice up to 2 meters thick using its teeth. Not claws, teeth. It locates thin points in the ice using echolocation, then rotates its head and saws through the frozen surface with its upper canines and incisors. The teeth wear down over its lifetime from the constant drilling. When they're gone, it can no longer maintain the holes and it dies. That's the part that gets me. It survives in water that sits at minus 1.8 degrees Celsius, below the freezing point of most liquids. Its blood contains antifreeze proteins that prevent ice crystals from forming in its cells. A biological antifreeze system running continuously, keeping it alive in conditions that would kill any other mammal in minutes. It's the southernmost wild mammal on the planet. It lives in permanent darkness for months at a time. It maintains infrastructure, actual holes in the ice, to stay alive. And it passes the locations of those holes to its pups.